All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is the Unique Trading Group, the place where strategy meets mindset and discipline turns into income. We are plugged back into the market matrix today, all right? And the code is flashing green. Tesla is rallying hard. BMNR is ripping. Open is popping. And SPY was holding the line today. And now we get into continuation, all right? I see V-bottom reversals and some traps in the making. This is the squeeze we prepare for, right? You remember? Just yesterday, we had these moves in mind. I prepared you guys for a couple of stocks, all right? These are the moves we talked about. And now what you have is a little bit of proof, a little bit of continuation. And today I'm going to break down everything you need to know about this rally, why it's happening, how to position yourself for the next wave, and what the big money in the banks are doing, all right? The institutions, the insiders, they're showing their true hands, all right? It's like poker, all right? And we're going to call the bluff. We're going to go over the charts. We're going to see the COT report insights, and I'll even show you live receipts from inside our Discord where we map these moves before they happen. So if you're new here, smash that like button, subscribe, and tap that bell so you don't miss the next alert. This is Coach UV with a Matrix twist. Let's plug in and decode the Matrix. We'll be right back after this break. All right, listen, first, a quick rewind. Yesterday, all right, right here on this channel, we call that FOMC range reversal. You remember? That's right. All right, specifically on SPY, right, which is one of my favorite stocks to trade to get that range. We talked about this, right? A range reversal. Power was on the podium. Traders were panicking. The headlines were scary, but I told you that fear creates opportunity. We said that volatility would spike and then rotate into strength. We said watch Tesla, BMNR open and SPY, and look at what happened. Tesla surged right into our level, all right? All right, the buyer stepped in exactly where we plotted support. BMNR, all right, the algorithmic shorts were at 100%. We called it out, and the squeeze ignited. Open, hot momentum name. Pop exactly when flagged, right inside of Discord. Momentum trading, all right, and likely exit and entries, and a little bit of insights and commentary on what to think and how to go about these trades. And even SPY, all right, it looked shaky at the top, but it held the line. No flush, buyers defended. All right, this is not insight. All right, this is not hindsight. Inside the Discord, we were calling it live. Charts, levels, commentary. It's all there. It's all there. All right. If you're in a group and you already saw the proof, then if you're not, link is below. This is where preparation meets execution. All right. This is where you guys want to be. All right. Check this out inside the Discord. All right. Shout out to the people who are engaging, who are active inside of here. All right. We call out plays. We do commentary. We have some fun. You understand what I'm saying? And today it was a really, really fun day. All right. Tesla, here's inside. All right. Commentary. All right, we got Miss Leslie, all right, talking about Tesla. She came out with a good little head pump, right? So she gave us a little commentary on Tesla, popped up, and we hop right on it, right on the charts, right? This is what we do, right on the charts, all right? DPMR system, okay? What are we doing with Tesla, all right? We hitting it, we attacking it, all right? We understanding patterns, pattern recognition, and structure. We're waiting, we're being patient, all right? In real time. Well done, that's right. Well done, Tesla, up and away, all right? It's a really, really fun day when you know what you're doing and you're able to execute. You're able to execute and do things that allow you to be consistent when it comes to trading. And I was calling these moves all day long, all right, inside of the group, and I want you guys to be prepared. All right, this is a decade worth of information, right at their fingertips, right inside of here. All right, as the market is moving, as you're watching and wondering what to do, I'm giving you live alerts and signals and commentary. All right, giving you conviction. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? All right, still in open, still in Wolf, still in BMR, still in Tesla. Right, we're calling them out. They're all moving the same, and we get fireworks. That's what it's about. You understand? That's what it's about. And so, as I say that, I want you guys to understand this. People always ask me, Coach, how do you keep reading the market so precisely? And the truth is, I move like Neo in the Matrix. Most traders are stuck reacting to headlines. We decode the data like lines of code. Fear, liquidity, rotation, it's all just code. When you understand that the market is a matrix, all right, you stop panicking. You start positioning. You don't chase, you anticipate. You don't fear, you act. And right now, the algorithms are rotating. They're rotating. That's what makes this unique. We have an edge that we go by. It's not random, all right? Right now, the algorithms are telling a story. The funds are repositioning and the dips are being bought. That's your signal. This is the squeeze that we've been waiting for. And the crazy part is, we're still early and it's just getting started. All right? So I want to move over and show you guys some things. And I hope that you guys are enjoying the video so far. If you have, do me a favor and hit that like button, all right? Smash that like button, all right? And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, subscribe. Hit that bell notification. That way you're notified whenever I drop valuable videos just like this one, all right? Okay? Now, right in front of you, you have the CFTC, all right? This is the Commitment of Traders report, all right? The Commitment of Traders. And you want to check out these, I would say, these moves, okay? I look at this data, all right? This gives me data on the SPY, commodities, Bitcoin, different things like that, all right? I go over this in detail with my tier 2s, all right? You guys subscribe, all right? Join the family, all right? This is aggravated data that we get that certain time of the day and a certain time of the week. When it comes out, I simply go, I find the information, right? And then I go and I assess where I want to buy and where I want to sell, what stocks, all right? Based on the data that's given me, all right? By law, big money has to show you where they are. Big money has to show you where they exist, where their buys are, and where their sells. So let's talk about what's driving this rally, all right? Everyone's talking about Powell, right? That's what they're doing. They're talking about Powell. We've pretty much been, we have been here too on the channel. We've been discussing the upcoming events that could happen leading up to today, all right? At 2 o'clock, the market showed its colors. Heck, around 1:30 it showed its colors. 2:30, Powell got off of the podium and it really showed its colors, all right? One stock in particular was Tesla, and we got those moves, all right? SPY still holding up, and that's what you see in front of you, right? All right, a range reversal. This was the range here. Remember the video previously? A range reversal, and that's what we have. And we are trying to tap these higher highs where we were previously before, all right? That's all we are inside of, is a range reversal. You got to understand that. And so with that said, what's next? All right, what's next? Everyone's talking about Powell cuts and the rates, right? Yes, the Fed narrative matters, but there's volatility. Both the Commitment of Traders report, the COT report, is showing something far more important than banks and institutions are still buying. Commercial hedgers have been reducing shorts. Asset managers are increasing longs. Understand? This is not retail chatter. This is big money flow, order flow. All right, that's why the market is so resilient. Rate cut fears come and go, headlines flash and fade, but when the banks keep accumulating, the market holds. All right, look at the numbers. Net long positions climbing. All right, short interest is key names like BMNR. All right, I know Tom Lee and his people are loving these moves. All right, that's a fuel for a squeeze. That's why dips are being bought. This is the part most traders miss. They get lost in the daily noise, the candlestick patterns, the perfect entries and exits, right? Instead of just getting in position. But when you read the COT like a code, right? The COT report, the Commitment of Traders, you see the matrix, you see the green lines under the surface. You understand? And so what's next for the road ahead, all right? Let's check out Tesla, all right? Check out Tesla, all right? So right now, at the time of this recording, Tesla is around $4.28. All right, we are $3 above the close, and right here on my chart, you can't see that because this is a trading view, but I'm looking on another chart beside me here, and yeah, we're at $4.28, so we are $3 above. We got that rally on Tesla. All right, the next levels are $3.30 and $3.40. All right, these are the next levels. 350 will be a place where you want to take cover at, okay? And so if you're not in the move, don't chase. You wait for a pullback to the previous close, which would be 425. All right, so let's move on along. All right, BMNR. All right, we're still holding strong. All right, short squeeze potential is not exhausted yet. All right, I want you guys to watch for volume. All right, watch for the volume and the borrower rates. All right, you can chat GPT that. Watch for the borrower rates. Okay, right now at the time of this recording, BMNR is almost at 59 bucks, and we close at 57. So we definitely have some continuation inside of the crypto world, right? And so what I want to see on BNR, I want to see 60 break. All right, you're just looking for a 60 break. I want to keep it simple, keep it stupid. If we can get that 60 break, all right, sky's the limit towards 65 and 71. All right, these are the next targets. The high has been breached on the daily time frame, which is 58.47. Right now, at the time of this recording, we are at 58.97, above 58.47. So that's continuation. All right, so we're going to be waiting for tomorrow. Appreciate you guys rocking with me. Hope you like this quick, simple commentary. Right now, the market is on easy mode, I would say. All you got to do is get in position, follow someone who's teaching you, all right, and learn the mechanics of the market. All right, so open needs to hold its breakout zone. If it does, more upside. Period. All right, there's nothing really else to discuss. It needs to hold, or else we're going to just see more upside. All right, open is one of those stocks that is favorable with a lot of people. It's a nice setup. It's a nice pattern. And I am here on the 15-minute, but open door is not necessarily another meme stock. Okay, so that's what we're dealing with. All right, and so think about one thing. Think about one thing on open. Right now, open is above its closing price, just like the other stocks that I just gave you. All right, it's above, just like I gave you. Okay, a $10 break. All right, we can see how I price it, but this is a long-term stock. Remember that this is a long-term stock. All right, and I am in these calls. We call this out in the Discord. All right, we are in these calls, and so we're just waiting for continuation. We have targets in mind. All right, and we're playing momentum. We're playing momentum, putting our money to work for us. That's what we're doing, because that's what it's about. All right, and so I want to take you back to SPY to double back. All right, and we're going to be finishing up the video soon, as you can see here. All right, let me clear this chart. All right, so SPY, head over to the daily. All right, remember I wanted to talk about the V-bottom reversals and the traps. Okay, now for us to really see clear, I'm going to take you to the 5-minute, but I wanted you to get a glimpse of the 1 hour. Okay, I wanted you to see where we are, how we're oversold. We're trying to possibly curl here. All right, and the volume point of control is important to see, because this is where most of the volume is, and it reacts there. It gives you context, right? How we held these highs here. Okay, we held these highs. Right? We forming a higher low. All right, this is the SPY on the hour. Now let's watch the 5-minute. Let's go to the 5-minute. All right, this is the pattern. This is the pattern that I'm talking about. A V-bottom reversal on SPY. All right, this is a V-bottom reversal on the intraday time frame. Could we see lower prices? Of course. But right now we are above 660, and 660 was a wall. And as long as we are above 660, and of course 645, we are 15 points away from that monthly close of August, now in the month of September. Here is the V bottom here, right? That's your V, all right? Don't chase it, wait for a pullback, all right? And you want to try to catch the higher low here, all right? And that's exactly what happened. Why is that? Because right now we are around 661. And so this pattern has already taken form, all right? That dip got bought, and now we continue higher, all right? And so only time will tell tomorrow, right? From 654 all the way to 660 is a $6 move. So above 6, we can get to 666, no pun intended, all right? And that is my levels for the SPY. All right, you guys stay tuned. We're going to have more videos like this. I hope you enjoyed it. This is the Halftime Show Wednesday, the midway review for the market. I hope you guys enjoyed it so far, because it's a lot of value and a lot of more information coming, a lot of videos coming that's going to be tailored to the right stocks, right? Tailored to the right type of commentary that you guys need. That's what's important, all right? The unique trading group, you understand? All right, so if you're busy, if you're new, a little skeptical about trading stocks, you're exactly who I help, all right? If you're ready to stop guessing and start trading with purpose, then welcome to a future forward thinking approach to options market. It's definitely built on precision, confidence, and a 3-step system designed to help you read the market like a book before it's ever written, all right? That's what I'm here for. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. YouTube's letting me know that 70% of people watching are not subscribed. So do me a favor, guys. Hit the bell notification, subscribe to the channel if you've been watching, all right? And everything will be just fine. You guys stay blessed out there. Remember, always protect your entry and your risk, all right? Define your entry, your exit, and your risk, all right? And it's about the process, all right? It's about the process and not the profits, okay? Until the next time, guys. Peace.